Today we'll discuss divide and conquer approach and design and analysis of algorithms. In that we'll discuss general method and binary search. General method. Given a function to compute on n inputs, the divide and conquer strategy suggests splitting the input into k distinct subsets where k is greater than 1 and less than n, yielding k subproblems. So here what we are going to do in divide and conquer approach, we are going to divide the input into k number of subsets. Where k is greater than 1 and less than n. Okay, for example, if I have 10 input values, I'll divide it into 2. So k is equal to 5. Okay, in each subset I have 2 elements. Okay, in each subset I have 2 elements. So 5 subsets we have. Okay, it is just an example I'm telling. So here what is happening in divide and conquer? We are going to divide the input into k different subsets. The subproblems must be solved and then a method must be found to combine sub-solutions into a solution of the whole. If the subproblems are still relatively large, then the divide and conquer strategy can possibly be reapplied. So what you can do, you can divide the subproblems. So once you get those subproblems, solve it. After solving, if you have multiple solutions, so try to combine that. Usually for only 1 or 2 algorithms you get multiple solutions, but usually we'll get only one solution. Okay, usually we'll get only one solution. When you have multiple solutions, then we have to find a strategy to combine that again. Okay, if subproblems are still larger, so if you think subproblem is still larger, then divide and conquer strategy can be reapplied to those subproblems. Okay, so this is the general algorithm for divide and conquer. So algorithm D and C, that is divide and conquer, you're passing the problem P for it. Algorithm D and C, you're passing the problem P for it. If small of P, then written S of P. If the problem is smaller, then written the solution for the problem. Okay, if the problem is small, then return the solution to the problem. So if small of P, then return of S of P. S of P is solution of the problem. Okay, else divide it. Divide P into smaller instances, that is P1, P2, so on up to Pk, where k is greater than or equal to 1. Okay, divide the problem P into k number of instances. Okay, k subsets. That is P1 to Pk, where k is greater than or equal to 1. Why k is greater than or equal to 1 here? Because when we have only one solution, when we recall this function, then it will check with that small of P and it will return the solution to the P. Apply D and C to each of these subproblems. That is, if you think the problem is still larger. If you think the problem is still larger, then apply this divide and conquer technique again and again for all these subproblems. Okay, until it becomes smaller. Then return the combined solution of all these subproblems: D and C of P1, D and C of P2, D and C of Pk. That is so on up to D and C of Pk. Combine all these solutions and return the solution as a whole. So this is the general technique, general algorithm for divide and conquer technique. So recursive binary search. First we'll discuss the concept of binary search. Then we'll go for the remaining algorithms which are there for your lab programs. Okay, recursive binary search. So binary search algorithm you have already known. That is, for the binary search algorithm, we have to pass the elements which is in increasing or decreasing order. That is elements, input elements must be in order. Input elements must be in order. Here we are passing non-decreasing order. Non-decreasing order means increasing order. Okay, we are passing in terms of increasing order. Okay, so first element will be smaller, then last element will be larger. Okay, first to last it will be in increasing order. So given an array A of I to L of elements in non-decreasing order, where I is greater than or equal to 1 and less than or equal to L here. Okay, L. So here you can consider I is the smallest value and L is the largest value. Okay, and X is the element that we are going to search. Okay, determine whether X is present, and if so, return J that X is equal to A of J. Otherwise, return 0. So if X is present in the list, then return its index. Okay, that is J. That is our position. I can say it as position. Return the position in the array. Otherwise, return 0. That means element not found. Here, algorithm input will be from 1 to L. Okay, it will be from 1 to L. It is not from 0 to L minus 1. It is from 1 to L. That's why return 0. Okay, that is if element not found. So how it works? If L is equal to I, then it's a small of P. When we'll get L is equal to I? When we have only one element. When we have only one element in the array, we'll get L is equal to I. Okay, if that is the case, that is a small of P. That is small problem. If X is equal to A of I, then return I. Now compare your X with that single element. X is equal to A of I or A of L, because L and I both are pointing to the same element. We have only one element. Check whether X is equal to A of I or check whether X is equal to A of L. If it is true, then return I, that is position of the element. Otherwise, return 0. Okay, this is small of P when we have only one element in binary search. Else, reduce P into a smaller subproblem. How to reduce? So we know the concept of recursive binary search. Every time the array will be divided into two parts, right? If the element is less than the mid element, then we are going to search in the left side. If element is greater than the search element X is greater than the mid element, then we are going to search on the right side of the array. So we are going to divide the array into two parts, right? So mid is equal to I plus L divided by 2. I is the starting index, L is the last index. Okay, I plus L divided by 2. If X is equal to A of mid, then return mid. Okay, first we are going to compare with the mid element. If these two values are equal, the element you are going to search X is equal to A of mid, then return the mid value. Okay, that is the position of the element that is found. Otherwise, check whether X is less than mid. If X is less than mid, that means it is on the left side of the array. You search only in the left side of the array. Okay, so if X is less than A of mid, then change the value of last index. Change the value of last index. We need not to search in the entire array now. We need not to search in the entire array now. So we have to search up to mid minus 1. Anyhow, it is not equal to A of mid. It is not equal to A of mid. So we need not to check with mid element also. So A comma initial index I, you keep it as it is. And then change the last index, that is mid minus 1, comma X. You call the binary search again. Okay. Otherwise, if X is greater than A of mid, you have to search in the right side. Okay, if X is greater than A of mid, we have to search in the right side. Here, I need not to check with the condition because I'm checking X is equal to A of mid, X is less than A of mid. So another condition left is X is greater than A of mid. So that I can put in the else part. So if X is greater than A of mid, what happens? I have to change the initial index. I need not to search in the left array. I have to search in the right array. So change the value A of mid. I need not to check because it is not equal. Right? Change the initial index here. So that becomes mid plus 1. And L you keep it as it is. So A comma mid plus 1 comma L comma X. X is the element to be searched. So pass all these to binary search and call it again. So this is the recursive binary search. Okay. Then iterative binary search. iterative binary search, instead of the recursive call, we are going to use the loops. Okay, so here also same thing, given an array of a of 1 to n of elements in non-decreasing order. In increasing order, we are providing the elements. If n is greater than or equal to 0, determine whether x is present. If number of elements greater than 0, then check whether x is present, and if so, return the position of that. That is, x is equal to a of j means you return the position j, else return 0. Again here array index vary from 1 to n. Okay, low is equal to 1, high is equal to n. Low is initial index, high is last index. Okay, low is equal to 1, high is equal to n, while low is less than or equal to high. This is the major condition. Low must be less than or equal to high. If that is the case, mid is equal to low plus high divided by 2. Find the mid position. Then if x is less than a of mid, x is less than a of mid means you have the element to be searched on the left side. So change the value of last index. So high is equal to mid minus 1. So you have to check from 1 to mid minus 1. If x is greater than a of mid, then you have to change the low value. You have to check from mid plus 1 to high. Okay, so if mid is equal to, if x of x is less than a of mid, it is on the left side. The element to be searched is on the left side. Change the value of last index, so high is equal to mid minus 1. Else if x is greater than a of mid, then you change the initial position, so low is equal to mid plus 1. Else if a of mid is equal to the value of x, then return mid. So this condition again I need not to check, because I have already two conditions. One is less than, one is greater than. So remaining condition is equal to, right? That will be taken in the else part. So if a of mid is equal to x, then return the mid. Okay. Then close it. If it is unsuccessful search, then return 0. So this is iterative binary search. Let's see how the search works. Okay, consider element to be searched is 47. Okay, we have to search for 47. So mid is equal to 1 plus 9 divided by 2. So we have 10 elements here. Okay, we have 10 elements here. So mid is equal to 1 plus 9 divided by 2, which is equal to 10 by 2, which is equal to 5. So a of 5 is equal to 14. Okay, a of 5 is equal to 14. We are going to check whether 47 is greater than 14 or less than 14. So 47 is greater than 14. So that means you have to search on the right side of the array. Okay, so change the value of your mid position. Okay, change the value of mid position. So initial position becomes mid plus 1. Initial position becomes mid plus 1. That is 5 plus 1, which is equal to 6. 6 plus 9 divided by 2, which is equal to 15 by 2. It is a floor function. So you will get 7.5. You consider 7. So a of 7 is equal to 45. Again 47 is greater than 45. Again you search on the right side of the array. Again mid position will change. So mid will, that is initial position will change. Initial position will be 7 plus 1, which is equal to 8. High position will be as it is, 8 plus 9 divided by 2, which is equal to 17 divided by 2, which is equal to 8. So you'll get 8.5, which is equal to 8. So a of 8 is equal to 47. So a of 8 is the mid element now, right? So a of 8 is equal to 47. So 47 is equal to 47. Element is found. I hope you are getting. So this is how your binary search works. So let us select the 14 entries. Consider this example. 14 values we have: minus 15, minus 6, 0, 7, 9, 23, so on up to 151. We have 14 values in an array A. Okay, consider I'm going to search for x is equal to 151. Okay, x is equal to 151. Let us see, since we have to analyze all the algorithms, let us see how many number of comparisons required. You know that when we are finding out the efficiency or time efficiency, we have to find out the basic operation. We have to find out what is the input characteristic. Here input characteristic is size of the array. So we have n elements. In this case, n is equal to 14. So that will be the input for the binary search. And here x is the key element to found. And basic operation is comparison. We have to compare and we have to check whether the element is present, that is key element to be searched is present in the array or not, right? So consider x is equal to 151, which is to be searched. Okay, we have to search whether it is present in the array or not. So we'll check how many number of comparisons required. So low is equal to 1, high is equal to 14, mid is equal to 1 plus 14 divided by 2. Okay, 1 plus 14 divided by 2, which is equal to 7. Okay, that is the mid position. In the mid position, we have 54. 54 is not equal to 151. 54 is not equal to 151 and 151 is greater than 54. So you have to search in the right array. You have to search in the right array. Now low value will change. Now 8 to 14 I have to search. I hope you are getting the concept. So this is the mid element. Okay, this is the mid element. Now I have to search from 8 to 14. Okay, I have to search from 8 to 14. I need not to search in the left of the array. Okay, I need not to search in the left of the array. So low value will change now. Low is equal to 8, high is equal to 14. Okay, 8 plus 14 divided by 2 will get it as 11. Okay, that is equal to 22. 22 divided by 2, which is equal to 11. That is the mid position now. Okay, that is the mid position now. In the mid position, that is 11, we have 125. Compare it with x again. Okay, x is 151. 151 is greater than 125. Again, search in the right side of the array. So here position of the initial index will change. It becomes 12. Okay, so low is equal to 12, high is equal to 14, and mid is equal to 13. 12 plus 14 divided by 2, that is 26 divided by 2, which is equal to 13. Okay, I hope you are getting. So 13 is the mid element now. So A of 13, 142. 142 is not equal to 151 and 151 is greater than 142. So again, search in the right side of the array. Okay, so again the position of low will change. It becomes 14 now. 13 plus 1, which is equal to 14. High value is also 14. 14 plus 14 divided by 2 is equal to 14. So A of 14 will be compared with 151. These two are equal. So element is found. So how many number of comparisons here? 1, 2, 3 and 4. First element with 54, that is position 7. Second element with 125. Third element with 142. And fourth element with 151. Right? So these are the 4 comparisons. Okay, 4 comparisons. Let us consider another example. X is equal to 9. So low is equal to 1 and high is equal to 14 initially. So mid is equal to 7 for that. Again here 54 is not equal to 9 and 9 is less than 54. So search in the left side of the array. So again you have to change the high value now. Okay, it will be mid minus 1, that is 7 minus 1, 6. You search in 1 to 6. Okay, you search from 1 to 6. Again 1 plus 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3. Now mid element is 0. Mid element is 0. In the third position we have 0. So 0 will be compared with 9. 9 is greater than 0. So search in the right side of the array. Now value of low will change. So 3 plus 1, 4. 4 to 6 we have to find out. So 4 plus 6 divided by 2, 10 by 2, which is equal to 5. In the fifth element, we have the element 9. In the fifth position, we have the element 9. So here element will be compared and it is equal. So it is found. So only 3 number of comparisons. Okay. I hope you are getting this. So first one for 151, we had 4 number of comparison. For the second example, we have got 3 number of comparison. Let us consider one more. x is equal to minus 14. Okay, minus 14, you can notice it is not present in the array, right? It is not present in the array. We'll see how many number of comparisons required when we have the element which is not present in the array. So low is equal to 1, high is equal to 14, mid is equal to 7. This is the initial case. Then we have to compare minus 14 with the mid element 54. So minus 14 is less than 54. So search on the left side. So low is equal to 1 itself. High will change. It is 7 minus 1, 6. So in new mid value will be equal to 3. So here we are going to compare with the third element, that is 0. So minus 14 is less than 0. So search on the left side. Again change the value of the high. So it will be 2. 3 minus 1, 2. You search in 1 to 2. So here mid element is equal to position 1. 1 plus 2 divided by 2, which is equal to 1. So in first element we have minus 15. In the first position we have minus 15. Minus 14 is less than minus 15. Again you have to change the x is minus 14 is greater than minus 15. So search on the right side. So change the value of high. So it will be 1 plus low. So 1 plus 1, which is equal to 2. So in the position 2 we have minus 6, and this is the last position. If we divide that, the high value becomes more than the low value becomes more than the high value. So it becomes 1. 2 minus 1, which is equal to 1. So here what happens? High value is less than the low value. So we have to stop here. That means element not found. So you can check how many number of comparison. 4 number of comparisons for unsuccessful search. I hope you are getting. So here for the last one, we need not to find out the mid value, because it will not calculate. High value is less than the low value. It will not calculate, so it will not find out the mid element. Okay, so comparison will not be done here. So only 4 comparisons will be done. Okay. So these are the 3 examples of binary search on these 14 elements. Okay, consider the elements now. So same elements I have considered again. So here binary search decision tree for binary search n is equal to 14. So this tree will tell you how many number of comparisons required. Okay, how many number of comparisons required for the successful and unsuccessful search. If your search ends at the circular node, that is 1 to 14, numbered from 1 to 14. If your search ends at circular node, it is successful search. Okay, I hope you are getting. I hope you are getting. So if you find the element at position 7, okay, it is 1 number of comparison. If you find the element at 3 or 14, you need 2 number of comparison. If you find the element at 1, 5, 9 and 1, 5, 9 and 13, then you need 3 number of comparisons. Okay, when you find the elements at 2, 4, 6, 8, 14, 10, 12 and 14, you need 4 number of comparisons. So how to count that? So here 1 number of comparison, 2 number of comparison, 3 number of comparison. That is when you have the element at position 1. Okay, when you have the element at position 4, okay, consider you have the element at position 4. When you have the element at position 4, 1 comparison, 2 comparison, 3 comparison and 4 comparison. So it will be 4 comparison. So if your search ends at circular node, it will be successful search. Okay, it will be successful search. If your search ends at the square nodes, okay, so 2, 4, 8, 10, 12, 14, sorry, 12, 14 and 15. So 15 square nodes we have. So if your search ends at this position, then that means it is unsuccessful search. Your search ends at this position, it will be unsuccessful search. So you can notice that is maximum number of comparison for any one element. Any one element will be 4. So first element minus 15. If it is minus 15, we need only 3 number of comparisons. Okay, we need only 3 number of comparisons. So it is in the position 1. So mid element will be 7. It will be compared with 7. Then next mid element will be 3. So you are going to check in. If it is not equal to 7, that is 54, then it will check from 1 to 6. Okay, when it checks from 1 to 6, next mid element will be 3. It will check again on the left side. Okay, so it will be from 1 and 2. So next position will be, you'll get 1 plus 3, sorry, 1 plus 2 divided by 2. So you'll get the next position as 1. So the element is equal, minus 15 and minus 15 are equal. So it will return. So 3 number of comparison. Similarly, for minus 6, it will be 4 number of comparison. So 3, it is 2 number of comparison. For 4, it is 4 number of comparison. If it is 7, it will be 3 number of comparison. If it is 23, 4 number of comparisons. So I hope you are getting this concept. So if your search ends at circular node, it will be successful search. If your search ends at square node, it will be unsuccessful search. Okay. So 14 successful search values we have because we have 14 number of elements. Okay. 15 unsuccessful values we have. Okay, 15 nodes for unsuccessful search and 14 nodes for successful search. So successful searches, since every time your input is getting divided by 2, you will get half of the input. You'll get half of the input. So best case for your binary search will be when you find the element in the first mid position, that is 7th position in this example. If that is the case, only one number of comparison. So theta of 1 is equal to best case for your binary search. If in average case and worst case, in both the cases, it performs log n to the base 2. Okay, log n to the base 2. So it is theta of log n to the base 2 for both average case and worst case. And for unsuccessful search also, we have log n to the base 2 for best, average and worst case. So at least 4 number of comparisons we need here. Okay, at least 4 number of comparisons we need for unsuccessful search. So best case, worst case and average case, all the cases will be log n to the base 2. Okay, number of elements require more than 4 comparisons to be found. So no element requires more than 4 comparisons to be found. That is for the successful search, maximum number of comparisons will be 4. The average is obtained by summing the comparisons needed to find all the items and dividing by 14. So here we have found out how many number of comparisons for each element, right? That is 3 plus 4 plus 2, so on up to last position also we have 4. So add all these and divide it with 14. Okay, so we'll get 45 divided by 14, approximately 3.21 number of comparisons for successful search. I hope you are getting. This is the average of all the successful search comparisons. So when you add all those number of comparisons, you'll get 45. This is for successful search. 45 divided by 14, which is approximately equal to 3.21 comparisons per successful search on the average. There are 15 possible ways that an unsuccessful search may terminate depending on the value of x. So maximum 4 number of comparison. On the unsuccessful search, it will not find out the mid element. So maximum is 4 number of comparisons for unsuccessful search also. If x is less than a of 1, the algorithm requires 3 element comparison to determine that x is not present. Okay, that is in the first case. That is it will if it is unsuccessful search, then minus 7 it will compare with 7, it will compare with position 3, it will compare with position 1. But if it is not present, then it will not compare with the last element because comparison will not be done. So only 3 number of comparison in first case. In remaining 14 cases, it will be 4 number of comparison. Okay. So it will be equal to 3 plus 14 into 4. Okay. For 4 number of comparisons for 14 elements. So 14 into 4 plus 3 for the first element divided by 15. So we have 15 possible ways of unsuccessful search. So divide it with 15. So approximately equal to 3.93. Okay, it is approximately equal to 3.93. So this is about your binary search. So we have discussed both iterative binary search and recursive binary search, and we have seen how to analyze this also. So remember, your efficiency for binary search is log n to the base 2 in average case and average case and worst case and your unsuccessful search, and best case is single number of comparison. Okay, remember that log n to the base 2 is the efficiency time complexity of your binary search.